Hi guys, sorry not for uploading for so long. I was busy in my exam of coders rank test and I was promoted to a rank also, so who are you all? I hope you all best of luck for your exam if you have them. I'm back with a new video of what if Ash woke up on time. Alternate reality story 1. What legends are made of Saga 1. The legend begins. Copyright 2000 by Flareon. Disclaimer: I do not own Pokemon. I wish I did, but I do not. I just write these fan fiction. These things means thought or psychic communication. Apostrophes means Pokemon language deciphered into human language. Brackets means author notes. Things means change of scene. Narrator: last time, Ash, Misty, and Pikachu entered the Viridian Forest. Known for its various bug-type Pokemon, Ash likewise found a Venonat, which he caught. Then used to beat Team Rocket, after it evolved. Now, on the third day of Ash's journey, will he hurry up and leave Viridian Forest, which seems to leave Misty spooked? Let's see what our heroes are up to. Ash's Voice, Episode 4, Fight with Mankey and the Challenge of the Samurai. Ash and Misty were riding along on the main path through Viridian Forest. They were riding slowly, so Ash could catch more Pokemon they saw on the way. The funny thing was, when he saw all of the Weedles, Caterpies, Metapods, and Cacunus everywhere, he just looked at them, smiled ruefully, and went on. Misty was puzzling over this. Earlier, she had assumed he would catch any Pokemon he found, and she was pretty sure he was capable of it. But he didn't catch any bugs that creep her out. That put her in both a clueless, yet thankful, state of mind. Finally she asked him why he didn't even try. Ash, scratching the back of his head, "Wheel. Before I started my journey, all of my life, I trained myself. I lifted weights, ran laps, swam laps, did sit-ups, crunches, jumping jacks, the works. Before he died, my father also taught me how to fight. I've been practicing ever since. I even joined a few dojos and am now a full-fledged black belt in one of them, high rankings in the other two. I did this so if my Pokemon I hoped to get on this journey were hurt, I could easily run or swim for a long time to the Pokemon Center. Other than that, I just did it because I like to get stronger, and I like to know what it must feel like to be trained by a trainer. It gave me greater empathy for Pokemon. Believe it or not, I can run to up to 3 hours straight, without stopping." He flashed a smirk of pride. Ash, also, I was tutored in the ways of Pokemon by Professor Oak. He did this if I helped him in his lab every day after school. In school, I learned a lot about math, literature, and science. For math, I learned what I would need to know to calculate levels. For literature, I got completely absorbed in reading novels by Pokemon masters, especially one named Style. For science, I learned the biology of Pokemon and their tastes. So you see, I am completely obsessed with Pokemon. After I was well toned up and knew a lot, I started planning what I would do on my journey. And I have it all worked out. Misty, impressed: what are you going to do? Ash, first, I'm going to enter the Pokemon League and become a master, after I hopefully collect all the required badges on the island. As I do this, I'm going to be catching every evolutionary kind Pokemon I don't have. Meaning if I have its evolved or unevolved form, I don't catch it. So, that's why I don't catch all of those Caterpies, Weedles, etc. After that, I'm going to go around to any other leagues like the one located in the Orange Islands. Actually, after I'm finished, in a hopefully short number of years, I plan on retiring back in Palette. There will start my own gym, and catch as many Pokemon as I can, because then I will have my own place to put them. After that, what's that? Ash pulls out his Pokédex. Pokédex, Mankey, the pig monkey Pokémon. Using its agile feet, this fighting Pokémon can overcome most martial artists in single-handed combat. Misty, pointing out the obvious, Ash, that Mankey looks big. Bigger than usual. It must be a very high level. Please don't try to catch it. You'll only hurt your Pokémon. Ash, sorry Misty, but a Pokémon is a Pokémon, and this one will check 2 off my list. Go, Pidgeotto. Ash used every single Pokémon he had but Pikachu, the rest were all knocked out. The Mankey was breathing hard but very angry. It was hurt, but standing. It looked as if it was ready to attack them. Misty, angrily, give it up Ash. Now. Ash, stubbornly, I'm not giving up. Handing his shirt, jacket, league hat, Pokéball belt, Pikachu and backpack to Misty, he stood, confronting Mankey. Ash, without looking at Misty or Pikachu, Misty, if anything happens to me, your bond to me is free. Go home. Please take my Pokémon and look after them. Especially Charmander and Pikachu. Run from this Mankey, Misty, pale, Ash, you're scaring me. What are you going to do? Ash, what I trained myself to do. Now. Go. Misty, terrified, watched Ash beckon to Mankey with 2 fingers on each hand. She didn't move. Ash, Mankey, do you know who I am? I'm Ash Ketchum, from the town of Pallet. I've pledged to capture every Pokémon in the world. I can't be defeated in my purpose by the likes of you. And I know for a fact that I am stronger than you are. Come on. Try me. Misty, Ash, no. Pikachu, Picat. Wait. Ash, knowing the normal attack of any Pokémon using Rage, jumped straight up into the air. It was over 10 feet, or looked that way because Ash did a mid-air splits. Mankey kept running and ran through a tree, demolishing it. It rubbed its head and looked back at Ash. It stopped using Rage and its eyes cleared. Now it would be using its fighting discipline. Ash was suddenly unsure if facing this thing in combat was wise. Sure, he was an excellent fighter in his own right, but he'd never heard of any Mankey. Knowing how to tone down a Rage technique, Ash thought back to Professor Oak's lab, when he had seen the order of attacks wild Pokémon usually used after ending an attack. It was sometimes random, but Ash couldn't count of that. He knew there would be a 75% chance Mankey used Low Kick. He prepared for it. It did. Low Kick is an attack where the Pokémon started running super fast and then leapt low to the ground, kicking 1 foot towards its opponent. Then it skidded a few feet. Ash jumped low, so as to come to the ground quickly, as Mankey used its attack. He then ran over and did a 1-2 combo with his fists. The Mankey was so surprised it just fell down. As it was getting up, Ash grabbed its wrist and swung Mankev around and around. Then he let go and sent Mankev flying into a tree, the equivalent to a seismic toss. Mankey fell to the ground and stared at Ash. Then, it seemed to be stricken and fell to the ground in a heap. Ash wiped his forehead. He was just glad it wasn't trained at all.
Misty had been so apprehensive she hadn't breathed. Now she let it in with a rush. Misty, Ash, I can't believe you did that. Ash, grinning, was it that impressive? Misty came up to Ash and slapped him. Ash, putting a hand to it, angrily, ow. Dang, that hurt. Misty, yelling in his face, Ash, I meant what you just did to us, Pikachu and your Pokémon. How could you go and leave us in such a position, wondering how fast you would be killed? I'm sure Pikachu feels the same. You're supposed to use your Pokémon to battle. That's what they're for. Pikachu, picat, picapi, Pikachu, pi picat. She's right. You should have let me handle it. How do we know you can handle a high-power Mankey by yourself? Trainers usually use their Pokémon in order to protect themselves. A long time ago, that was the only reason humans ever caught them. Ash, rubbing his cheek, trying to feel angry at Misty but not quite succeeding. Well, why? Okay. I'm sorry. But I told you before, I'm a black belt at my best dojo. I also know a lot about Mankey's moves from Professor Oak. Besides, Pikachu, you're one of my best friends. How could I let you get yourself knocked out by a Mankey after I learned it? Probably couldn't be beaten? At least not by surprise? Misty was suddenly a little but only a little sorry. She slapped Ash. She stood back and took one of Ash's extra Pokeballs and handed it to him. Misty, sighing, I'm sorry for slapping you. Here, you might as well catch it, you really deserve to. Ash, answering the apology, it's okay. Maybe I deserve it. Answering last comment, and yeah, maybe I did deserve to. Pokeball, go. The ball hit Mankey and it zapped Mankey inside. Mankey was still so bewildered it didn't even put up a fight and stayed still. Ash transported it to Professor Oak's house. They stopped and started to eat lunch by a river. Ash fed his Pokémon who were recovering and missed his as well. The Gyarados, strangely, took the food to Ash while he stroked its head. By the way, Ash has these Pokémon at the moment: Charmander, Pikachu, Butterfree, Beedrill, Pidgeotto, and Fearow. At Professor Oak's lab, he had these: Venomoth, Farfetch'd and Mankey. Suddenly, there came a crashing in the bushes. A dark figure leapt towards Misty, something in its hands. Ash and Pikachu dived in front of Misty while she screamed. A strange garbed person stood in front of the trio, with a short, sharp-seeming blade at his hands, pointed at Ash, who had his hands up in a martial arts defense stance. Person, quiet, oh shrieking maiden. You will wake up every Beedrill in the forest. Misty, angrily, what'd you jump at me for? Person, I wished only information. My name is Samurai, I am a Poké warrior in these parts. Ash, curiously, what's a Poké warrior? Misty, letting go of her anger for another moment of experience, a Poké warrior is a Pokémon trainer who uses his skills in the martial arts as well as Pokémon to do battle. They are usually extremely tough. They're also usually not very sociable. Actually, Ash, you probably are a Poké warrior because you used your fighting skill against Mankey. Samurai, nodding his head, a kindred spirit. Anyway, have either of you two seen an unusually large Mankey in these parts? Ash, well, yeah. A little while ago, I fought an exceptionally large Mankey in single-handed combat and caught it. Why? Samurai, deflating, I was looking for that Mankey. Word spread around that a large Mankey with strong attacks was lurking around this forest. Wait a second. Did you say you fought it? And you are still alive? Misty, he did. But maybe it wasn't the same Mankey. When Ash fought, it didn't seem really strong at all. Ash blushed a little and Samurai brightened. Samurai, maybe you were right, then. Hey, you two wouldn't happen to have seen a Pokémon trainer from Pallet around as well? By the slimmest chance? Ash, pointing to himself, I'm a Pokémon trainer from Pallet. What do you want with one? Samurai, clapping his hands together, with luck. A while ago, my dreams told me 3 trainers would battle me. I have concluded I must find these 3 and battle each, then I've decided to start on my quest of entering the Pokémon League, which was also in my dream. So, Pokémon trainer from Pallet, to accept this challenge to a Pokémon match here and now? Ash, I do. They each selected 3 Pokeballs and laid them on the ground. Then they each picked a Pokeball off the ground and threw it. Samurai, I choose Pinsir. Ash, and I pick Charmander. The 2 Pokeballs landed on the ground and Charmander and Pinsir came out. Pinsir, Pinsir. Here we go, Pung. Charmander, Charman, Mander. Ready to rumble, Rochi. Samurai, Pinsir, Guillotine now. Ash, Charmander, Ember. First, Pinsir opened its pincers and started charging Charmander. A split second after this happened, Charmander started swing its tail around in an ember. Attack. Charmander's ember attack is where Charmander stays stationary on one foot then spins itself around with the other foot, quickly gaining speed. Its fiery tail sends flames all around it, making a barrier of fire between it and its opponent, while attacking its opponent at the same time. Charmander can only keep this up for a short time, so it is not a powerful fire attack. And it's not a powerful offense because the opponent can stay out of range and let Charmander tire itself out. Bug-type Pokémon are vulnerable to heat and cold, so Pinsir couldn't finish its attack and got pretty hurt. Round 1, Action 1 was over. Ash, Charmander, stop Ember and use Flamethrower, now. Samurai, Pinsir, use Stomp attack. As expected by Ash and Misty, the Flamethrower stopped Pinsir's attack and knocked it unconscious. Samurai, with a sweat drop, Pinsir, return. Go Butterfree. Ash, alright, Charmander return. Go Butterfree. The 2 Butterfree appeared as Charmander disappeared. Samurai looked at Ash with a confused expression. Samurai, trainer from Palette, why did you call back your Charmander? That put you 1 down, as it says in the Pokémon League rules. Ash, I want to work with all of my Pokémon, not just one. If I do just one, it will become very strong, while my others stay the same as they usually are. And it is more fair to test a Pokémon's abilities when it battles a fresh opponent. Please start the match. Samurai, Butterfree, Sleep Powder. Ash, Butterfree, Gust attack. As the powder floated towards Ash's Butterfree used Gust to blow it back towards Samurai's Butterfree, which fell asleep. Ash, Butterfree, use Psybeam now. Ash's Butterfree became still, eyes closing, its wings not flapping, but it's still floating in the air. It suddenly opened its eyes and a beam of dark light hit the other Butterfree. Samurai, Butterfree, return. You are stronger than the other 2 I faced. Ash, what did they look like? Samurai, one was a male trainer, with spiky brown hair and a cocky smile. The other was a female trainer, with dark hair and a warm grin. Both of these beat me, but they taught me a bit each time. Misty, thinking, it looks like it wasn't enough. Samurai, anyhow, Pokeball, go. Samurai threw a Pokeball and out came Dart Scyther. Pikachu loops in circles around Scyther. Ash, Thunder Wave. Agility was like a double team attack and Scyther couldn't block the Thunder Wave because it couldn't see which Pikachu it came from. It became paralyzed. Samurai, Scyther, spread your haze now. Samurai was unlucky. Scyther couldn't use haze because haze requires movement and Scyther was too paralyzed at the moment. Ash, Pikachu. Use Thunderbolt to finish it off. Samurai, Scyther dodge. Pikachu used Thunderbolt and Scyther couldn't dodge. It fell to the ground, slightly crispy. Ash, we did it. 3 out of 3 in a row kid. Pikachu, Pikachu cap. First trainer victory. Samurai, that was most impressive. I compared to you, I am quite the novice. I was hoping to start collecting badges, but I think I will wait and train my pocket monsters some more. Samurai showed them all the way out of the forest. They saw many Pokémon, but none that Ash didn't or wouldn't have. It took a week. Samurai said he caught Pinsir and Sither elsewhere, but when Ash asked where, Samurai just said, out there. Ash and Misty learned about Samurai and he about them. Samurai didn't have a bike, but that was fine, as the path had disappeared and the brush was too thick to ride through. They had to rest pretty often because lugging the bikes through branches and scrubs. In between rest breaks, Samurai and Ash battled each other, but they had it so they improved each other's strategy voluntarily. When they finally cleared the woods, they saw a building from Pewter City in the distance. Samurai, extending his hand, "May we meet again in the Pac-Man League." Ash, shaking Samurai's hand, "I look forward to it. And thanks for teaching me the technique." Flashing a smile, "I'm sure it'll come in handy." Narrator, and Sosh and Samurai parted ways it is morning and Ash, Misty, and Pikachu ride towards Pewter City, and their next adventure. Who knows what adventures lie in wait for them in this city with the first official badge? Well, done uploading the 4th episode. Next part, insert Brock Slade and learn a very interesting thing about Pikachu. Flareon.